it does. Yeah, good. I think it's starting the recording. Good. So what we really want to do is to be able to it's to add another two that will show us balance sheet and income statement. We have vertical and horizontal and ratio analysis. So how do we extend the same technology using it to make it so easy to make a nice income statement and balance sheet? By the way, I did it the right way. What do I mean by doing it in the right way? You have all those account in the vertical, revenue, cost of revenue, gross margin, and here it's for the analysis, but I want to put the data, the original part for each one of them. Now, how do I add one here? I don't want to go and change the code every time I add another category. And we're going to add more categories. Not maybe in the income statement, maybe in the income statement some, but in the balance sheet, most likely I'm going to change it. Those categories will change. I want to make it automatic. The only way you do it, it's to put it in the database. In the database, you always add another row, and the row will automatically will be integrated. So let me explain what I mean by that. If we go into the tables here, I made one called here we go. A statements account. So this table, I defined number one is a balance sheet. By the way, I should really open it up. I don't know why I didn't put the name here. Let me change so we can see the name right here. So if we go to the models, and which one was that? What was that statement? I get lost, Control F. Come on. Yeah, here it is. Okay. If we go here, we have statement, and I probably did not put it in the admin. And where is the statement now? This is it, is that right? And I will add here statement so we can see which statement it is without having to get inside. That should do it. And okay, let's go and look at here. Refresh. Okay, so I made a new table. Okay, so number one is balance sheets. By the way, that's different, Brenda. I also define type of account. This one, it's to which statements an account would go to. So the balance sheets get number one, income statement is number two. I kept it as like the type of the flow, but there is also a statement of cash flow, which I haven't touched yet. We will in the future, we'll see, and others. All the other ones, and I might break it later on to more categories. But now that I have those categories, I can go to the accounts. We have accounts. And this is the whole list of accounts. And if you see, I have a new column here. In fact, what I did is in the model of the account, Here we go. I did the foreign key. Yeah, that's finished. That's good. I will send you this one in a minute. If you go to here, we have statement, a foreign key to this simple small table. So now I divided all the accounts to if they are income statement or they are balance sheets. Everybody got it?
Yes.
So this has helped me when I get to here. All the accounts on the income statement will go here. All the accounts of the balance sheets will go here based on this specification, okay? And others will not show at all. I mean, we'll deal with them some other time. So that's what I did here, which is very important. So this is all the account in the last column here, this one, tell me if it's a balance sheet, income statement, other will not show anywhere. So only the account that our income statement will come into this report. Let's see how I did it. So let's go and look at it. And how do I get to here, by the way, when we're clicking here? How did I do that? That's very elegant. You can make it eventually, Danny, and you have the tools to even automate the whole things to be like in a code. But I didn't find the time that this is the right time to do it. I just want to move on quickly to catch up with those guys from Ernst & Young. So what we really want to go to, we have the calculation. Now, which folder is it under? Yeah, this one I used to call another calculation, that financial statement analysis. This is used to be calculations, but I changed the title. But this one, I changed the title to be a full financial statement analysis. And this one, we have this one. So let's look at how is it really structured. We have some JavaScript code here. We'll get to that in a minute. But how does it work? It's pretty cool. See, this is the titles. For each one of them, if I want to add another title, I only have to add one like this. So I have the balance sheet, and it starts with LI. It has a link inside. I give it an ID. I try to keep all of them the same way, FS, and I write this one, I call it balance sheet. This one, I don't really care. I put the active only for the first one, so the first one will be active. But the truth of the matter, you don't need to, because I wrote some function that does it automatically. And then you have all the rest are the same. Here it's very important. In a minute we'll get back to that. And here it says balance sheet. And another word. If I want to make a new one, see the way I will do it. Let's call it just Amos, and then we'll throw it away. I give it Amos here, lowercase. And then I go into here and call it Amos. I'm trying to be very consistent. By the way, this is just what it will be typed on the tab. This is important. This one going to call open a folder in here. That means if I made there one, I should make another one here. And by the way, this one, it's empty. I didn't really put anything inside. I'm just going to write my name. And the important thing is that I put the name here. Whatever I put here, it has to match whatever I did the link. This one referring to this one. Very important. Amos. So I'm trying to be always to be consistent. That's the way I do it. So I never really get caught lost there. I just added a new tab. And see if I go there, refresh. It won't work, of course. But I have a tab called Amos, you see? And it's a little funny. Why is it funny? You can guess because I left the active in both of them. I shouldn't. Okay? Only one should be active at the time. So here we go. I have Amos here. You see that? It's pretty cool. When I click Amos, you got the tab here. You got it? Something about the balance sheet. I click on the balance sheet, you get whatever in the tab. But they are empty. In fact, Amos and all of those three are the same because they have nothing. Here I did a lot of things. And it's empty because the code didn't run. A code will fill them up. And we're going to do the same things. Okay? So let's remove Amos first because we don't really need Amos. But that's a very good one for you to remember. By the way, I was debating, I didn't have the time, I didn't want to spend. You can make a manager. And one that will do it for not long. Because the way I did this one is very different. The way I did this one is very different than the one I did here on the top. This one I made a manager and tab and all of that. This one, I didn't think it's too, this is much more complex than this one. So I just want to get it out of the way. But we can make a manager for this one as well. We'll do it in the future. Okay? And secondly, I wasn't sure if we want to keep this design and maybe Jeremiah will want to change it to this kind of design. After we know the design, we might change the way. But for now, we want to get into a point that we're going to here. As I click on ratio and I will see ratio analysis in a minute, the code that when I choose the company, generate this one. So I want him to generate those ones too. So let's see which code generating these ones. In fact, the code that generate this one, I try to work very, very organized. If you look at here, I try to put them in the same place. Here I have vertical analysis. I have get account values. That's something else. This is a sub. I think I'm using it for this one. I forgot even. But I have a ratio analysis. And I have another one, vertical analysis. The truth of the matter is vertical and horizontal. And it's being called from here. This one, in fact, calling this one. And I'm going to add another function to make it easy. Since this one is the easiest, this is just help me to keep track so I don't get lost. I'm going to make another function here just to keep track to, in fact, you know what? To make things funny, I'm just going to copy the whole things. And in a second, also how I just copy this one and I'm going to call it a repair. The truth of the matter, this is the first one I should have done. Okay. But I wasn't sure if I even want to do it. Repair income and balance sheet. Okay, so it will make those two. And now we will start running. The key point, stage number one, let's go from the very end. This is very different than the one I taught you, Daniel. Another way you can do the same things. I'll come back to that one in a second. The end. Let's go to the very end. Okay? I need to get a place. I'm going to put the stuff in. By the way, in the vertical and horizontal, if you look at it, let's do it for a second. Let's run it. So you can see how it looks like. I did it separate and then I combine them together. At the end of the day, it will take a blink of a second. The user will get the whole things. We'll do it in the future, not now. Now we're not there yet. See, I got this one. By the way, there's two tables here. You see that?
Yeah.
There's two tables here. So the truth of the matter, I already have 5 tables. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So how did I do it? Let's look at the code here. In the vertical, this is only for the last 2. Okay? I did it for only for those ones. If you can, this one, it's not in this function, it's a different function that does this one. And this one's done together, the same one. So let's see how I did it. Let's look at the very bottom, the end of the day. We have a place called horizontal and vertical, and then we have, and I'm putting the stuff inside them. Okay, so let's see what is horizontal. Let's look at it. Oh, here it is. No, this is not it. Here it is. So in fact, I have a div for horizontal analysis, correct? This is really, when I click on horizontal here, it opens this div to make it active, meaning when I click horizontal, it makes this is active. So I'm putting into this div, in another word, in the end of the day, I have one div for horizontal analysis. I have also one div, and we're going to do, we have 2 divs for income statement and balance sheet. Okay? So let's do the income statement. You know what? Let's even call it just income. Now, let's do it together. It will be easy. It will be easy to do both together. You will see in a second. So that's what I did originally. I did each one of them separately. But eventually I want to put whatever will be in the balance sheets to go into this div. Whatever go to the income statement will go to this div. So in the end of the day, when I'm finished with this disaster one, I want to use 2 places to call them and put the data there. So one of them will be called balance sheet, and one is income statement. So whatever will be, the end of the day, I need to fill them up here. So whatever it says horizontal, I'll put here the balance sheet. And the other one, I will put income statement. That's the beauty when you work organized. I need to have a title. You agree? We'll say, the only thing is really I dealt only with this one. I didn't really deal with that part yet. But I know it has to end up here and here. One for the balance sheet, one for the income statement. And it will fill both of them. That function will fill both of them. So this is fine beside the end that I haven't touched yet and the whole mess that I haven't talked about yet. Let's look at the beginning. Let's see how this table is supposed to look like. In the end of the day, I will have income statement. It will say income statement, okay? And it will have all the years, so the title should be the same way. I should have exactly the same title also in here. So I'm going to keep the same title for this and the title for this. That's pretty cool. I already saved a hell of a lot of time. I already have done a lot of the work. How is this title have been built? We can do it in the method I taught you, Daniel. And we can do it primitive. I call it primitive, but it works beautiful too. And there's another very powerful trick. Remember, I taught you the eval function?
Yes.
And how you can call another function? You can use it in many sophisticated ways. Honestly, eval is one of the most powerful elements There's a lot of powerful element, but in which people don't really know how to use it enough. Okay, so let's go and see how did I use it here. I think I used it here, but we'll see. Slide number one. You know, you will get lost in a project like that easily. Where's the data? Where do I get the data from? Do I go and get the data from the database, or do I get the data from, by the way, we have already the data right here. If you go to here, here's all the data. I can pull the data right from here. Or I already kept the data somewhere. Should I take it from there? Let me remember how I did it here. I forgot. The truth of the matter is that I'm not using, see, I keep all the data that eventually that you see in a variable called, I made an object called VObject, and all the data is really here. And all the data that you see here in the bottom, when I print it for myself, okay, it really is stored here. And how is it organized? By year. You can see, it's in fact, this one, it has only a segment. You can see it here. It's not simple stuff, but I just saw one here. 2013, did I? Here we go. You see it says 2013? See that? For 2013, it has all that stuff, okay? For 2012, you can go and look for that in the top here. You'll find 2012 somewhere. 2000, this is 2014. You see that? So this is for 2014, 2013, it's here. 2012 will be right below. Somewhere here it is. Every year, you have a segment. But this dictionary that holding for every year all the data, you know, I have to keep it in the JavaScript. It's coming from Django, from the database. But in order not to get lost, I must be organized. So I put it in a variable called a VObject XBRL data. How it works, it's for some other time. For now, just remember that all my data is really there, which is beautiful. Now, I don't really use it. By the way, since the data is already here, doing anything with this, it's very fast. The purpose of the first part, I'm not even using it for that. This part I did to make sure if a company, see, most of the company has data from 2012 to 2020. But what about if a company existed only from 2015? How do I know that? How will I be able to know that, Daniel? So when I pull the data, I get all the data in this variable. Is that right? That's what I get from the server. So if the company has data only from 2015 to 2020, this dictionary, this is a dictionary, by the way, that as I showed you here, it will not have the previous year. It will start only from 2015. So I can loop over this one and check which years does it have. And then I know which years I have the data. So that's the purpose of this loop right here. Just to make it short, instead of carrying all the value, I call it a CD. Okay, doesn't make a difference. It's just the writing a little simpler. So the objective of this part is to find out if what is the maximum year or what is the minimum year that I have data. Sometimes could be a bankruptcy, company was in the bankruptcy and they don't have data for 2020. They ended up in 2018. So I don't want to run and make financial statement for 2018 if the company was already bankrupt. They don't have financial statement. So I want my table to look nice. In fact, we have some example, I think Dell company has started like the last 4 or 5 years. You'll say this is very powerful, but the beautiful thing is you do it once. I was even considering putting it in a separate place and copy it to the other one. The truth of the matter, I really use that the same things in all of them, in all those scripts. If you see the script, sorry. If you look at the script here, I use the same things. The first part is exactly the same because I wanted to know. So you can make a function, by the way. If you really, this is really making it more elegant, okay? All what I need is really those two variables, form and to. So I can make a function and call it, here, let's do it. You know, as we speak, function. It's already that crucial, a form to. I can call it whatever I want. Is that right? And all what I need is to return to me what? Return what? It can return a dictionary. Let's call it a list. Let's call it LL. Okay? And what does it take? It doesn't need to take anything. So I can take it, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Take the whole things, copy it to here. The beautiful part, why it doesn't need to take anything, because this variable, it is global. If it's a global variable, I can read it from every function in JavaScript. Doesn't matter wherever it is. All this loop really depend only on this variable. So it will do the loop, it do the whole things. It goes into deep inside the Dell. I don't really care. Bottom line, what does it bring back? From here, we said this is going to be a dictionary. Is that right? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even need to call it. I just do it this way. I don't need to give it a name even. And to you. Okay. Now, I want to test it. Okay? I want to test it. You know what? We'll do it's fun. We'll have fun. Let's have fun. Really, let's have fun. It's worth it. Let me take this one out of here. I won't touch those ones. I won't touch this one. I will come back to that. Okay? Close it. Come back to that. Do it only for this one. And then we'll do the same for the other function as well. What does it mean? You know, a better way to say get. That's a better name. But it doesn't make a difference. Instead of this now, what can I do now? Well, you can do a dictionary. You can return a dictionary, but it doesn't matter. I don't really need all of these ones here. All this can go away. Okay, and now I will call it LL. You return. What does it return? Is returning what? What is it returning? A list. Is that right? So I take the first one and I take the second one here. I'm done. Is that right?
Yes.
This function will do the work. By the way, I can use this function not only here, because I'm using the same title to all of them. That's going to be cool. Let's say, I think I'm doing even more than that. The truth of the matter, even the title I'm using. Look at that. The title is very generic. I'm not doing anything special in the title. I'm using a count. I do header. I give it a name. That's true, but I don't really need the name for the title. Let's choose. Let's not even give it the title. I don't really need a name. I don't need an ID. I don't need. I take it away. And you see the form and two coming from here. it's looping, and see the beauty here. It's looping a year from the form to the two, and is creating S title is starting with the T head. It has the first one, you know, how is it work? The T head will have TH, TR, which is a row. And then I have the first column, which say account. And then for every year, I want to make a column. So I'm adding to the S title, TH. This one I'm giving it a name. This one is important. Here it's important. No, it's not important. For this one, it's not important. Although if I wanted to click, it will not. This one is not important either. You don't need. For this one, we don't need the name. Okay, and it will loop up. What it will get me by the end. If I do, so let's take this part as well. Put it here. And how would you do it smart now? How do you return smart way? Anybody? What should I do? Say I'm making the title also here. That's pretty cool. Because all of them are the same. I will return it here, isn't it? Are you with me, guys?
Yes, doctor.
Does that make sense, Daniel?
Yeah, it does.
Now, what can I do here now? I don't need that. Is that right?
Yes.
What do I do now? Yeah, what should I do now? What should I change now? So I return 3 items now. That's 0, that's 1, that's 2. The 0 goes to from year. The 2 goes to the 1. And the 2 goes to the title, isn't it? So which number should I write here?
2.
2, correct. Because this is really the second one in here. That's pretty elegant, isn't it?
Yes.
By the way, you can do it just like that. In Python, you can't. You can do some way, but I don't like to do it in Python. But here, one row, replace the whole sections here. By the way, I didn't do it just to put it there. I can use the same things for those guys as well. If you look, the whole things I started the same. I wasn't lazy. I just wanted to get everything done right. So I can replace the same things right here. But let's first make this one work. Okay? So we got the title, a function that can start creating the title. Okay, beautiful. And now what do I do now? What next? This is the hard part. You know, in the, I keep, this is a variable. By the way, I keep this one. What is the, it tells me, if you remember this one, I bring in this data for, I have the statements. And where is the statements? Yeah, here we go. We have the statements. I download this one by Ajax, and I get this table, you know, those values. I have the order, and I have the name of the statement. And I'm doing a loop over there. And for key in that one, I check if the key is income statement. If the key is the income statement, I take, now I think this is, let me see, what did I do here? Yeah, I know what I did. Bear with me a second, because I returned it with this one. Let me see if I can find it here. That's a hard one. You see statement, here we go. Here, it's a, do you guys, can you guys see it? It's a little hard.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it.
For every year, I return a dictionary. This is a dictionary called statements. And the dictionary has two dictionaries. The first one called income statement, and the second one called balance sheet. If you look it up here, you should find balance sheet somewhere. Why is it? Oh, taxes. Yeah, here we go. It's a little hiding in the bottom here. It's a balance sheet. And okay, so we have a dictionary called statements. And inside we have two dictionaries, one called balance sheet and one called income statement. So far, so good?
So good.
Okay. Now, all the data I put for that year for the income statement, see the way I did it. In the income statement, I give you the order, I give you the name of the title, and again, I give you the order number and the title, etc. All of those you get exactly, you can know exactly each one of them. All those accounts belong to the income statement, 2100. The name of it is called revenue, but it belongs to the income statement. 2200, it's cost of revenue, etc., etc. All of those belong, only that segment, it's the income statement. So if I want to think only about the income statement, I know which accounts belongs to the income statement. And that's their title. Beautiful. Why is it beautiful? And see how I did it. So I'm looping now. This statement dictionary, it is right here. So I have a dictionary, okay? This dictionary is for the statements. So the key will have two, or income statement or balance sheet. So far, so good?
Yes.
So the dictionary statement has only two values, or income statement or balance sheet. And the income statement himself is a dictionary. That's correct. So I get to the first one, I'm looping. So this loop will go twice only. So far, so good?
So good.
Beautiful. Now, I check, is it income statement? Or if it is income statement, I want you to loop inside the income statement. So this loop now is looping inside this one is looping inside the income statement. It's looping only over those ones up to here. This is the dictionary, correct? So the first
Yes.
one, it will show me the key will be 2100 and revenue will be the value. Correct? The second one
Yes.
will be 2200 and the title will be cost of revenue, etc., etc. It finishes. It goes to the second one. It do the same things for the balance sheet. So far, so good?
So good.
Okay? And the beautiful part of it is, it does it for every year. We'll see in a minute. Okay? We'll see how it does it for every year. But for now, at least, and you'll see in a second why it's so sophisticated. Okay, what do I have here? By the way, this one, it was really hard. This is very hard. You know what, I will have you enjoy it to really understand how I did it. Okay, and I will explain this one. This is even harder. What's really happening? Think about it. I want to prepare income statement and balance sheet from this year to this year. I'm missing something here somewhere. No, I'm not. I'm not missing anything. This is beautiful. Really is a piece of art. But this is really hard. If you get that one, you jumped like 5 levels. What did I do here? I made an alert. Let's open this alert. Let it run, okay? So you can see it. I don't have it here because this function doesn't work yet. I'll open it for the previous one. Let me do it for this one because all of them works the same. By the way, even this one I can, no, I don't want to do that. I want to keep them local. I can make this one generic as well. I will open this one for you. This is a hard one. Think about it that what am I trying to do? I have the title. And then under the title, I have revenue, and then I have to put the years. And the next one and put the years. The next one and put the years. So what I did is I said, let's make a variable, dynamic variable that creates by itself for every account. I repeat it, that's a hard one. I make a variable, meaning when I do the loop, I do the first loop over all the accounts, I'm really creating a new variable for the account, but it doesn't include the years. So, and that variable in the beginning, see this variable that I'm making here, I open that one intentionally, okay? It's the same thing for the balance sheet. We'll look only for the income statement, okay? The idea is the same. I'm making a new variable. How am I gonna call it? I call it S underscore K. And what is it K? See, I have K in this one, but the K, if you look at the dictionary here in the bottom, I designed it in a smart way to be, see that this is the dictionary for the income statement. The key is 2100. It's very important. In a minute you will see. So I'm making a variable by the name S underscore 2100. What does it equal, that variable? And that's the trick here. You see, it's a string inside a string. It's a very hard one. I'm putting inside, first of all, I'm starting a new row. TR is a new row. You agree? I'm putting a TD. But what am I putting in the TD? I'm really putting the word revenue for the first round. That's when I put the K inside, this one will give me the revenue. Next loop, it will give me a new variable S underscore 2200 with the revenue, cost of revenue. That will be the title. So this is very cool, very, very cool. Okay. And by the way, this is one I will show you what does this variable look like? It's amazing. This is really just for the first one. I know that the second one works, so I didn't bother. It's really hard. This is a very powerful trick that makes your life so nice. So this is creating a variable which is going to be a string. And what the beautiful part of it, that when you're done, later on, I will add to that the years. So let's see how this part look like. If you get it, you're lucky. Let's do it. I hope I don't have errors on the other one, then you will never it won't get out. I hope in the one we didn't destroy anything. Now I'm not calling this this one I do, but I'm not using this function. So that shouldn't be a problem. That's it. Here we go. What do you see here? S20, 100. You have a string. You see that, Daniel? Pretty cool.
Yes, doctor.
He's starting a new row, TD, and I put the word revenue. Exactly taking what I wanted. I wanted him to go to the income statement. He took the first one and I put the title there. When I do, see the beautiful second, if I do okay. Hey, what do you see inside? This is the
Revenue.
value of the variable I created dynamic. In fact, this is a hard one because you don't know really how to do it even. It's hard to know how to do it because if you look at, where did I put it? Where did I open it? Here it is. See, the first one shows you what the eval is going to do. So you have a string, you have a name equal to a string. But then, so this eval, making this variable to be a string. I want to see it, so I have to run another eval of the name of the variable and do alert. And that it shows me the value. That's pretty cool. It's hard to really even to debug. That is looping, or loop to the next one. You see, this is a string I'm building. What the string says, S20 to 100 equal to a string. You see that? That's a string. When I run that in eval, the variable S20 to 100 will be equal to this string. How do I know that this variable got that value? In fact, it's by, usually I would like to just do alert in the name of the variable. But the variable is dynamically created. So I have to use the eval again to create the variable name in JavaScript and then call alert. And that's what give me what I'm supposed to see. The variable, this variable should say this value, whatever it's inside here. That's the next one does. So you do okay. That's what I get. You see that? It's pretty cool. So now I have a variable for each account. Okay? Go next. Go next. You see all of them. Next. You got it?
Yes.
So one variable for each one of them. This is crazy. It really is. It's like imaginary. So I keep it for training. This is a beautiful concept. Let me just take the alert. Now what happened now? Okay, I have one variable for the title. The title is done. Remember, the title is done because we have all the years there. What am I supposed to add now for every year? For every year, I need to add the numbers. So I have to do a loop over the years and collect the data and put it for every account. So that's getting even harder. So how do I do that? Let's come to the next stage. Okay. Let me go to our stuff. Now that we understand our stuff, let's leave this function. I will close it. I close it. And I want you to see how it's built. We'll build it up with you. Okay? Let's do the fun things. You know, we have only this part. Is that right? See, this is a good way of thinking. I'm going to delete the whole part in the middle. Hold a second. I want to check it, the code in a second. I'm going to delete the whole things in the middle. Don't worry. I have a copy of it. Because understanding that it's worth gold, it really is worth gold. We have balance sheets and income statements, so we really need only two. So we won't need all of them. Let's go to the very top and see what we're doing here. It will get destroyed, but let's see which. Here I'm making one for each one of them. This is good. And I'm making one for each one of them. This is good too. Then I have an S. Let's call it SI and SB. That's fine. I will delete the other one. I will play with them in a second. I'm making two strings. By the way, all what I did so far, I have one variable for the title, and I generated dynamically. I'm going to close these ones. I don't want to see them. And dynamically, one variable for every account. Now, I want to collect them and closing them up. This is closing, and I will explain in a second. See, what we did here, we started TRTD, we put the title and we put a TD. I have to close it with a TR, and that's the purpose of this part. It really is the purpose of this one. So I'm going to close each one of those for the income statement. By the way, what did I do here? Is I don't need, oh, help me God. I'm missing something here. Oh, this is good. Independent, that's fine. This is independent. SI, SH, SB, I don't need SH. If it's income statement, again, SK is enough. Hold a second. Well, bear with me a second. Sorry about it, okay? I did SK. I don't need two. I need only one. Okay? I don't need two. SK. And I will do SB. That's enough. Okay? I'm making a variable for the, by the way, the truth of the matter, I can keep the same. You know what? It's funny. I don't really need to do that. I can keep because there are different numbers. But that's more elegant. The way I did it's more elegant to the brain, a way of thinking. I could have kept the same S because the K are different, but that's fine. Okay? Let's leave it this way, that's fine. So I have a variable for every account in the income statement, and I have a different variable for every account in the balance sheet. Now I want to start collecting them. This one I will use later on. I want to use this one for now. This one, again, I don't need two. And I don't need two here, but I will fix it. I have SI. So this is good. I'm closing, by the way, you see, I'm closing the variable with a TR. And then I am adding that variable to this S variable, but here I need to do SI because I changed it from S to SI. For here, this is good. SB is fine because I kept SB. SB tag, it will add the closing and it will add it to that. In another word, I'm going over all the variables. I'm closing every variable with a TR and adding this variable to those two variables, SI and SB. In another word, SI is the table for the income statement, but doesn't have the data for the years because I deleted them. Remember we had some stuff here in the middle?
Yes.
We will come back to that. I just wanted you to see the logic. And if you get it, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Okay? I deleted it intentionally. So you go into, and now you do those two loops and look for the income statement, look for a balance sheet. So what do I have now? I'm going to delete those two. I don't need those two. I need two tables. And see the way I did it. I call that income statement. I put a B highlighted and a B, this is bullshit. And then you have a table. And the table, what the first thing is supposed to be there? The title. And to the title, I'm going to add SI. Because SI really is the table now for the income statement. But it doesn't have it. It will not look good. It will see the title. I will look the first column, and now it's all empty. You got it? Because we didn't put the data for the years, and we'll do it in a minute. But that it should work. And then you will put it there. Now, let's call this function from somewhere. Let I prepare this function. Let's put it in the right place. Where did I put the other one, by the way? I put that one in there. Didn't I put it here? After he does the ratio analysis, I think I did that. Yeah, let's put it here. It doesn't really matter. So after you will do the ratio analysis, you will do that one. Let's see how it works, okay? By the way, it's really good for you, for understanding, to play with it, is, okay, how SI look like before I put it here? By the way, what did I do here? Yeah, I just put some, no, I'm glad I looked at that. This should be SI, and that should be SP. I just added some empty places. But what did I do here? S and SP. Yeah, I added some empty places. That's all. That's nothing. This is garbage. To leave some spaces between them. But I don't really need it here. I don't think I need it. Let's take it out. I don't need it. It's separate statements. I don't need them here. By the way, you can, it really is beautiful to see how it's being built. So you can really see how the SI look like in every point in time. It would be very hard to, after the eval, by the way, you can look, you can put it here, by the way, you can do alert how SI look like. SI, and then let's do just the SI. The SB is similarly. Let's see how it look like after every iteration in the second round, okay? Let's look at that. That's beautiful. It's a good exercise, it really is. By the way, you can do the same things here. Now here we don't. We did it here, we saw how is every variable being collected. Here would be really cool to look how SI look like. And by the way, in the beginning, it will not have anything. It doesn't have the title yet. It will not have the title. It will be building only all the variables. And here I'm adding the title later on. So let's look how it looks like. That's pretty cool. Hopefully it will work. You will need probably 2 weeks to recover from today's session. It's hard. And learn it by heart. Take my advice. Learn it by heart. Those tricks you won't find in any book. Honestly. That's one of the things we're doing in marketing. One day I want to get those. Here we go. You see the SI? The SI in the beginning, what does it have? Look at it, very good. You have TR, you have revenue, TR closed. You got it?
Yes.
You go into the next one, TR, but it really is, it's not going to work this way. Okay? It closed the TR. You see the TR is closed. And then open another one, the next one. So this is really what the SI look like. After every look, and then the way, let's look at how it looks like. Nothing, revenue, there's a garbage because I didn't finish and I probably have an error. Balance sheet looks good. Income statement doesn't. Why? This one it did good. I screwed up. This is the way it should look like. The income statement as well. I didn't add the data for the years, but I had some typo here in the income statement. It should look the same. And remember, I deleted the middle part.
Wow.
It's really the place we're going to add the data here.
Yeah.
And first, the title. This one is the same, supposed to be for the income statement. I will fix it. Okay? For this one, it went over every account. And the beautiful is a variable, dynamic variable. And it does it so elegantly. Now, let's go and fix the income statement, by the way. Let's see if we can, let's see if you guys can figure out the error. Ah, yeah, this should be SI. Okay? That should be SI. And that should be SI. That's fine. I can take it out because this one was correct. Let's just run it to make sure we're getting similar. We should get similar tables. Let's use a different company. Which company we should use? No, let's stick to one. Until it works, then we'll switch another company. I can't wait to the day you guys will do it yourself. It takes you a while, you know, but you have a very good foundation. That's why I told you this application is going to be a Rolls Royce. This is not a BMW. This is a Rolls Royce. Okay, let's go to the income statement. It looks the same. See that?
Yeah.
And the beauty, those are created dynamically by giving it a variable. We're giving it a variable that loops and create a variable dynamically. And now I need to collect to this variable to add the data for every year. We haven't done that yet for both of them. By the way, this is the way I did. All of them works the same. It's beautiful. The concept is beautiful. Now, okay, let's add the data. That's come the last one. But now, as I tell you all the time, when you do something, you always think ahead. When I built this one, believe it or not, I already had in mind that I might need to use, not mine, I know that I will, the data for it. This is my database. And if you look, if you do right click and inspect, I gave them names and they were not random. Here the names are very crucial. Look at this row. Look at this row, marketable security. Marketable security for which year? See the years? When I move down, the year is changing. You see that? The first one is 2012. But which account? 110300. Got it?
Yeah.
The next one is a different year, but it's the same account. So if I go now for this one, let's do right click, inspect. Open the next one. No coincidence at all. First year is the first column. So it's the same as the first one, yeah? But it's a different account. So I give it the account name. I'm going to use it now. I didn't do it coincidentally. Nothing coincident in my program. Everything is a very deep thought. How I'm going to use it. See how elegant it is. I've gone now to the middle part here, and I need the data. I don't want to go to the data I downloaded. I already worked on this data. I want to make it fast. So I'm going to copy. Which one did we copy? We copied the last one, didn't we? This one, isn't it? So let's go and copy the middle part. Yeah, this is the part that I deleted, isn't it? Is that right?
Yes.
I think this is it. Let's take that one. And that everything will work beautifully. And we want to put it right in the middle here. Okay. And let's see the idea. That's the idea. The idea is we created a variable in this part for every account. And the name of the variable, we know it. It is S underscore K, or is it SB underscore K? Now I'm going to loop over all the account again. If it is an income statement, now I'm going to collect the data for that year. And how do I collect the data? I made a nice function, by the way. I don't need that one, by the way. This one is unnecessary. And by the way, there's a lot. In fact, this one is much simpler. I don't need that one either. In a second. Let me take this function aside for a second. Let me do that. Hold a second. So apology. I'm gonna, in fact, I copied stuff that I have done already. Okay? Because I know how that was much more complex, by the way. Let's forget about this one. We don't really need that one, and we don't need that one for what we're doing now. I made a function, but let me take this one from here out intentionally. So you see the logic. What am I doing? So, and I'll put it here for a second. I'll put it back in a second. I made a function called get account value. Very smart one. And what does it do? Oh my God, I use it a lot. Yeah, I do use it a lot. I use it everywhere. I think it's in the very top. I'm going to. No. I thought it would help me to find it immediately. I use it everywhere. It's a very important function. It makes my life easier. Here we go. Isn't it? Here it is. What does it do? And that's something you really need to learn. See what it does. I transfer the year and the account. You see that?
Yes.
And what am I doing? I'm making a string from the year and from the account. So what am I getting really? The year and the account. So that tells you something. Remember, what did I show you here? How is the name is structure? Year and account. Is that right?
Yes.
Can't I use get element by ID now and
You
find
can.
this specific TD? Is that
Yeah.
right? So if I
Yes.
do get element by ID and put the year and the account, I can pull out this value. Is that right?
Yes.
That's what I'm doing in this function. That's a beautiful function now. See how powerful such a simple function. I'm transferring the year, the account. I'm telling him, please make an index for me. Get an element by ID for this index. If it's not empty, because I have a data, otherwise no point. Is that right? If I have a
Yes.
data, this is a little tricky, okay? I made another function that removes the comma. Remove commas, it takes a string. I made another function somewhere. I take, first of all, the inner HTML. What does it mean, inner HTML? That means for this one, I'm taking 90 billion, comma, number, comma, number, comma. I want to remove it and turn it to a number. In our case, we don't need it. But I was dividing one number by another when I did ratio analysis. You got it? So I have to
Yes.
return it to a number so I can divide the number by number. You got it? We don't
Yeah.
really have to do that in here. But keeping stuff the way they are, and I'm returning everything as a number. Otherwise, it's not. I could make
Doctor,
just get account value. I can make another function. If I don't need it as a and change it,
doctor,
I can make just another function similar and remove the number.
Doctor,
Yeah,
Brenda has a question.
Yeah.
pardon, that's on document, the get element by ID. Where did the ID name come from?
so this one, it's finding the element. It check if it has a value or if it's empty. If it is not empty, is removing the comma from this one. So it becomes to be a string. It's still a string, but doesn't have any comma. And then I'm turning it to a number because I want to return a number. If it is empty, just view it as 0.
I mean the upper part,
This one I just copied it. I'm going to make another one.
the IDN, where you get element by
This
ID.
one, I
Yes.
take the year is a number. I have to turn it to a string, otherwise I cannot connect it. By the way, in JavaScript, you might connect it. JavaScript is a forgiving language. If I do it this way, it will work. Most likely it will work. Python will never work. Got it?
Yes.
But it won't hurt to do it in the right way. Okay? It's like turning it to, by the way, this way or this way is the same. It's funny. I just put it so I remind myself that in Java, by the way, it will, if I will remove this and I remove this, it will work because I have a string here. And JavaScript is forgiving language. But in Java, JavaScript, you can use this function or you can take this one. Either of them will work fine. Now, for this one, what I would like to do is just simply, if it's empty, the return is 0. Literally here, I will change it to, it doesn't matter what it is, just return this one. And it's fine for me. I don't need, okay? Just return this. Just like that, because the way it is, that's what I want to show. Got it? And if for some reason there's an error, which shouldn't be an error, really, just do nothing. I would say, no, you know what? Let's do it the right way. No, I will do return. Return. That's it. So if there's any error for some reason that I didn't think about, but I need to give it a different name. Get get account value. How should we call it? Get account comma value. Let's call it comma value. Okay. Comma, did I spell it right?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Wow.
Yes.
Probably the first time in my life that I spelled something correctly. Okay. Now I won't use that one. I won't use that one because I'm not dividing or anything. This is good for numeric. When I did the ratio analysis, when I did vertical and horizontal, I needed to divide numbers. So I had to remove the comma, turn to numbers. And then after I finish, I returned that again to a string. Now, this will be just elegant. I don't need to do anything. So give me the value as it is. And that's what I want. So let's close everything here now. And go back to here, where we are. By the way, here, if you can tell, I had to divide it by revenue. I don't need to divide it by revenue anymore. In fact, I don't really need anything here beside the function itself, which will take, which will take the year and the type. But the only thing is I need a different name. Now it will give me exactly the value for that year. And that value where do I want to put it? Right in here. Got it? This is elegant. The rest is just making it look nice. That's it. And then I use again the eval, is adding it to the S, which is okay. If this is higher than from, what am I doing here? I don't think I need this. If it is higher than from, what the heck I'm doing here? S round, get account value. Yeah, this is for the ratio. I don't need that one. I don't need that one at all. And in fact, all what I need is this one. For the second. And maybe even what did I? In my opinion, I don't need anything anymore. If it is above that here, that's for the horizontal. I don't need it. For ourselves, all we need to do is to collect the data. That's it. Is that right? That's it. Same things for the balance sheets. Balance sheets again. We don't really, let's take this function here from here. And I move it. And make sure we don't make a mistake. And all what I really need is just clean it up. I'm just sometimes don't trust myself, although I can do it immediately. And many times I do it when I'm so tired. So I take this function. I get the data for a different account. Okay? Now, this is really what I need to put here for the balance sheet, for the balance sheet account. These ones we don't need because we're not doing a vertical. Okay? And I don't need that one either. So, okay, let's see. That's all I told you. These cases, those two cases are much easier than the one I did before. The other one, you had to divide it. It has some mathematical stuff inside. This one is really beautiful. What are we really doing? We're adding to the SK, okay? These are just putting the data and the same things, and we're adding them with the loop over the whole years. That's pretty cool. Let's see if it works. That's the key point. Okay, that will be really, really nice. And hold a second. That's what this part will do. SI, S title, SI, SI, and what do we do here? Yeah, it's continue loading to them and then it will get it here. That's fine. Let's go and see it. That will be really cool. That works. Here we go. What do you think, work or not?
You will.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. If I wanted to give you an exercise, you think you will be able to do it? It's a hard one. It's hard for you, but if you follow the code, I will do it with you. If I want to show the data in millions or thousands, how will you do it?
Pardon?
You know, we'll write, by the way, we don't really even need income statement is clear. We clicked on income statement, balance sheet. We can remove those titles. So to remove those titles, it's very easy. We don't need that one here. And we don't need that one here because it's clear. How do I turn it to, as the values will be in thousands? The truth of the matter, the right place to do it should have been done. It's in here. You know, here we're getting the data and just making them. And if I want to, there's many ways you can really do it. The right place to do it, if you really want to do it, don't do it on JavaScript. Download all the data right in the very beginning in thousands. Am I right? Also, it will facilitate you reducing the amount of traffic also. And then you're clean because everything is in thousands, so you don't need to touch the JavaScript code at all. You get it? So don't rush immediately do something just because you need to do something. Here, for example, you don't really want to, I might change the whole things in thousands, but if I will change it, I will change it right in this, because I'm pulling the data from here. So it will automatically change it for the income statement and balance sheet. This is the right place when I download the data to divide it by thousands. It's a little tricky. You have to be careful the way, which kind of data you're putting also. Some data ratio, dividing by thousand would be crazy. And then you screw it up. So you have to know really how you changed it. But you can do it in such a way. There is a way, and when we get there, we will do it. For now, I'm keeping it the way it is. By the way, this one we haven't done yet. That we'll do some other time. I will do it and then I will show it to you. I hope this was educational. I will upload the stuff to the server, okay? So you can look at it, and that will be the end of it for today. What do you say? Let me put it to the server, and then Brenda will do a poll, and that will be for the day, okay? So how about I will do a push? Just 1 second. Let's go here. No, hold this. It doesn't work that way. I'm working on the development. Is that right? I need to go, by the way, this one is a little tricky. I need to copy this one to my other project. Meaning delete this one. Put it back from the other project. That's first one. The second thing is, remember, we added inside, there's a reason why I put it in here, but not this one. Hopefully I didn't, I hope it takes it from here. Here it's empty, you see that? I will pull the data of the Excel I used. It's still open, so let me close it. Let me take this one. I'm not sure it will take it there. I think it's outside of the scope. No, it is inside the scope. The UL is in the scope. That's in the scope. So I should take it. Okay. Now let's test it. Okay. And the way you test it, we're going to here. And by the way, it's not going to work. Why it's not going to work? Because I didn't run. By the way, it will work because I'm using the same database, but I have load SP500. I will run it, just you'll see. When I click, he asks me to write yes. And then it will run. It will start running in process. It's running, it finished, he says, okay. Then you know it's done. Okay? That's what you will need to do, Brenda, after you're uploading. You'll see I will do it on the server in a second. Okay? So now I know it works. Let's see if it really does work. Let's refresh and put AAPL and see if everything works correctly. If it works, that means that everything is done the right way. See, if it wasn't finding the Excel, it would have given me an error. And let's see if we're getting everything right. Yep, that's nice. Balance sheet, nice. This is good. Good. So it is working. So we can go into here now to the GitHub and push it. Let's change it to, what is today, the 4th?
There's the fifth.
Yeah, I was working during the night and I did a push maybe, I don't know. Let me see, and push. Okay, now that I did a push, I need to upload it to the server. That's a different computer. Not sure we'll run out of. All right. And you Blender, you can do a pull, by the way, already, because the pull you do from the GitHub, okay, I'm pushing it. I'm updating the server. I think we can even stop the recording. What do you think, guys?
It's okay.
Yeah, because those stuff we have done. Okay, I updated the server, meaning we can go into Any one of those, refresh. Good. And when we go to the admin now, we should have load 500. Let's see. I'll write yes. It's running. It finished. I just want to double check that I got everything right. Let me go to the corporate valuation, and I should have a table of statements. I think I did that before, so I know this is the one. I need the SP, yeah, this one. This one should be filled, yeah, beautiful. Everything works perfect. You know, this procedure we did in a few minutes takes in a regular company a whole day. But everything is built in the right way. Beautiful. Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. In a second, we'll do the same things with you. Let's go here, refresh. By the way, you can see I limited. Okay, this one I logged in as administrator. But if I log out and I log in with FS and sign up and go to here and go to my account, go here and go into here, I will be limited to the number of companies. It's only the companies we made a view. Remember, Brenda?
Yes.
So let's see how A1 financial statement should look like. Here we go. See, it works much faster on the server because it's sitting on Amazon. And I go to the balance sheet. Here is the balance sheet. Pretty cool. Income statement. That's very cool. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, in one day, I showed you so much, okay? And when you walk in the right way, it's also go to the right place because we built these ones in the right way. Adding another folder is a piece of cake because everything is designed the right way. If we want to add other new stuff, we know that, you know, in the supporting schedule, by the way, this is still, I have the error. It's not an error, it's just, I put it there because I'm still working on it. I will work on it today. Okay? The risk premium, I will put the table here. The rest is already, by the way, if you have to choose this one, but this one I will automate. You get a valuation. Beautiful. I want the risk premium that goes in the supporting schedule. Yeah, I told you it does it every time because I need to change it. And the cost of debt and the cost of equity, you have risk premium. You see, mature risk premium.
Yeah.
This should be fed from the schedule we were working in the morning. You got it?
Yes.
Those companies, the AAA, they did the upper, they don't have it. They just plug their 7 point something. You got it?
Yes.
We're going to have another schedule, right? Risk premium. When you see this number here, it will be based on our analysis of this folder. That's very important. Nobody have done it yet. I'm not aware to anyone that has this feature. Anyway, okay, guys, I think that was very